Did you know there's a 7-step procedure that the credit bureaus have to follow? And if they don't follow, you can knock them out. And you know me, I'm gonna show you every single one of them so you can get better results and knock them clenches off your credit report. So with that being said, you already know what time it is. Let's go into it. What's up, family? Hey, I'm so excited for you. Hey, if you've been watching my videos for a while, hey, everything's about to make so much sense now with the 7-step procedure they have to follow. Hey, I'm basically going to show you what the secret letter, the investigation, the how they're supposed to file, then when they're supposed to get a dispute, what they're supposed to do. Everything's going to make so much sense. And if they don't follow this procedure, hey, you're going to be able to, knock them out. I promise you. All right, let's get into it. So make sure you go grab your book, hey, just like you read your Bible. Hey, we about to get into the law, right? So go grab it. I'm gonna basically dissect it on what you're gonna do. And if you don't got one, I'm gonna put the link in the description. It might be for free. It should still be for free, but if it's not, you might pay a little bit of money. However, go grab it, go order one. If you don't have it, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read everything. I'm gonna dissect it and basically break it down. And if you can't follow along, I'm gonna put it up on the screen for you so you can follow along with me so we can go into it. And I'm gonna show you everything you need to know so you can knock the credit bureaus out. All right, so let's get into it. So 15 USC 1681, right? You go to the table of contents and we're gonna be in section 623, right? And then I'm gonna basically break down. So we're gonna be talking about duties. It's gonna be B. Duties of furnisher of information upon notice of dispute, right? So we're gonna be talking about that. In general, after receiving notice pursuant to section 611A2, 681 of a dispute with regard of the completeness or accuracy of any information provided for a person in a consumer reporting agency, the person shall, hey, when you hear that word shall, that means they have to, they mean that must do it. It's basically got to do it step by step, right? So the first thing you have to do, right, is conduct an investigation with respect to the disputed information. Now, come on now, with the secret letter, right? With the secret letter, we talk about this all the time. So with this letter right here, they're supposed to do a proper investigation. This is the reason why I created this letter, right? The investigation request letter, right? Basically, with this investigation request letter, it tells them to check every piece of information and make sure it's accurate. And if they don't, we already know they're not going to do a proper investigation. But with the word investigation in the in the FCRA, they have to do an interview with your friends, an interview with your neighbors. They have to do a certain type of investigation. It's not just like a rollover where they just look at some information and just check everything. No, they have to do an investigation, a proper investigation. And if they don't do the proper investigation, you already know. And they have to file that investigation. And if they don't file it, guess what? They're supposed to file it, but they don't. So they have to do these certain type of steps. So this is the reason why you're gonna be able to knock them out, all right? So we're gonna basically, I'm gonna break everything down, but I'm not gonna make this video too long, so I just want you to understand what I'm talking about. So with this secret letter, the link is gonna be in the description to grab this as well. So we just read 2 steps, right? Here's the 3rd step they have to do, right? They have to review all information provided by the Consumer Reporting Agency pursuant to section 11, A2, right? Then this is gonna be the 4th step, report the result of the investigation to the Consumer Reporting Agency. They have to report the investigation to the Consumer Reporting Agency. Then this is gonna be the 5th step, right? If the investigation finds that the information is incomplete, inaccurate, report those results to all other consumer reporting agencies to which the person furnished the information, and that and compile and maintain files on the consumer on a nationwide basis. All right. So as you can see, what that says, right? If the investigation finds inaccurate, right? So you're telling them to check every piece of information, right? And if they find it, they're supposed to go ahead and report it, right? The person that's conducting this investigation, they're supposed to report it to the credit bureaus, right? And they're supposed to file it, right? We're gonna get into that part as well. So we already know that they're not gonna do that step, but let's get into the next step, right? So the next step after that, this is step number 6. If any item on information disputed by a consumer is found to be inaccurate or incomplete or cannot be verified after the reinvestigation under paragraph 1 for purposes of reporting to a consumer reporting agency only as appropriate based on the results of the investigation, promptly modify that item of information, delete that item of information, or promptly block the reporting of that item of information, right? So they're supposed to do a proper investigation. They're supposed to modify. They're supposed to update. They're supposed to check, right? So remember on the credit report where it says, when you have an account number, date open, date last active, this, monthly payment, all that, everything has to be 100% accurate, right? So you tell them to investigate all that piece of information, right? As well as, of course, when you tell them to investigate, you're supposed to talk to your neighbors. talk to your friends, talk to your associates and things like that. So they're supposed to do a proper investigation, right? They're supposed to update all that information to make sure everything's 100% accurate across all 3 credit bureaus, across all 3. And if it's not, they're supposed to go ahead and modify, delete it, or block it, right? They're supposed to do all of that. But if they don't, we already know they're not gonna do none of that. So this is the reason why you have it. So this is the reason why I tell you to do this letter first. This letter is first because what you want to do is get the results back. You want to get the findings back. You want to get the investigation report back. We already know they didn't do a proper investigation, but we want to make sure they document it and lie on themselves. So this is the reason why you want to send this letter off first. And make sure you send 2 forms of identification. You're going to send it to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, right? And the reason why you want to do that is because we want to knock them out, right? We want to get these things off our credit report. This is the reason why we're doing this, the whole process. So the next part of the procedure, right? The 7th step. Deadline. Woo-hoo, deadline. A person shall complete all investigations, review, reports required under paragraph 1 regarding information provided by the person to a consumer reporting agency before the expiration of the period under section 611. So the expiration is they have 30 days. They're supposed to report it back within 30 days, right? Within which the consumer reporting agency is required to complete actions required by the section regarding that information. So that's the 7-step procedure that they have to follow, right? So, man, this is real good, right? So they have a deadline, right? The deadline is they're supposed to do an investigation. They have 30 days to complete an investigation. Now, they don't have enough people. They don't have enough man hours. They don't have enough time to do all this, right? So this is the reason why you want to send this letter off first, tell them to do an investigation, and then you want to hit them with some different type of laws, right? The procedure that they're supposed to follow. And if they don't follow it, they have to remove it off your credit report, and they have 30 days to respond back to you. This is the reason why we set them up, get that thing removed off our credit report, and we knock them out, right? We knock them out, right? Hit them with the uppercut. So send this letter off first. And if you have any questions, any concerns, you can also watch this video right here, and we can be able to everything off our credit report.